Hi, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have with me the INFINIX HOT 30, and I'm going to tell you what for me are its strongest points and its weakest points in case you're considering buying it. So, as always, let me tell you, don't buy the INFINIX HOT 30 without watching this video. Let's consider its launch price, which is 4,199 pesos. On the screen you saw the reference price in dollars, but remember that the prices here are not the same as over there. Also remember that this will be a brief summary, but you have available the full review in case you want to know detail by detail the specifications of this device. I must anticipate that it has many points that I liked, so in summary I could tell you that it is a recommended purchase. However, if within the bad points there is one that hurts you a lot, it means that this is not the option to buy. So let's start with what I like the most. It has a 90 Hz full HD IPS screen. I think it is a considerably good screen, obviously within its price range, since in more expensive equipment is highly likely to find higher quality AMOLED screens, but for the price I think we could not ask for more. Is a very good screen. Even something remarkable is that it has 270 in its touch sampling rate, which will help you a lot in games. It also has stereo sound and an equalizer. At this price, the truth is that it is very uncommon to find devices with these features, so we have a surround sound that we can also customize if we are more specific in our musical tastes. Both the rear camera and the front camera record in 2K. No device at this price point is going to give you the same level of detail that these cameras can give you. Obviously, it's not an ultra-spectacular recording in terms of quality, but the resolution is a very important point, especially for content creators. In fact, this device can also record portrait video on both sides. If you don't know what a portrait video is, well, it is this type of effect that seeks to simulate something like what is happening right now, that the background is out of focus, although in this case I am using a professional lens, but in cell phones they try to simulate this with artificial intelligence. The result is not 100% accurate or ultra spectacular, but in this price range no other device is going to give you that feature. I also like that it has HD slow motion at 240 frames per second. Again, this is a feature that is not spectacular as such, but in this price range, no one else is going to give it to you. Most devices in this price range don't give you slow motion, and if they do, it's simply at 120 frames per second, but here it's slower motion. The fast camera is also very good. It can go from 15 to 5400x. If you keep this device plugged into the power supply, you could very well capture the growth of a plant in a super professional way and at 2K resolution too. Even the iPhone can't record this fast camera, to give you an idea of the context. The manufacturer promises 2 years of security patches. In this price range, usually no manufacturer promises you many updates. Here it is not a marvel, but at least we have the assurance that it will be receiving improvements that will patch any vulnerability that may arise in the system. It also has the option of floating windows, so you can use several applications at the same time, and YouTube does support this window mode, so the experience is really very good. It has all the security options we love: app lock, secure folder, child mode, anti-spy filter, and more. Really, of all the devices I've tested, INFINIX is the manufacturer that offers the most security and privacy options in this regard. The out-of-the-box charger. It charges from 0 to 100 in just over an hour. Although remember that this data is only for reference, because it is recommended that you connect it to charge when it reaches 20%, and if you want your battery to last many years of life, you can still disconnect it when it reaches 80%, but in general it is a very fast charge, and as I say, it is appreciated that you do not have to buy the charger separately. And for emergencies, it also has an ultra power saving mode. This is not a mode that you're going to enable every day, but when you come to need it, you know it's there to restrict all sorts of additional components and leave only the essentials. It also has NFC. If you don't know what NFC is, maybe this sounds irrelevant to you, but it is a chip that will allow you to make mobile payments using your cell phone. In Mexico, you can use Google Wallet with your bank cards as long as they are compatible, and you simply set it up and then bring your cell phone close to the bank terminal, and just like that you make the payment. That's a feature you usually only see on high-end or upper mid-range devices, but it's very surprising to see it on a device at this price point. It is also capable of projecting your screen wirelessly, not just to Chromecast. It has a data lock option, which could help you to select which apps can use your mobile data plan and which apps can't. Even if you open them, they won't use your mobile data plan. Even if you open them, they will not connect if you did not give them permission. And in this way, you avoid surprises for having consumed data without realizing it. It has all the sensors we could ask for, including a physical proximity sensor. I emphasize this because other manufacturers, both at this price and even in higher priced devices, are starting to integrate a virtual proximity sensor to save costs, which I really didn't like how it works, and many of you have reported the same to me. So, here it is noteworthy that despite being a device that adjusts its price as much as possible, it still integrates this physical sensor. It has 256 gigabytes of storage. At this point, I do not know what more we could ask for because really at this price, it is totally surprising that it has this capacity. Of course, it's not going to be ultra-fast storage because we're talking about a device that's looking to adjust its price, but I think someone who's looking for a device at this price point is not necessarily looking for maximum speed, but you do have a very good storage capacity that's going to allow you to store a lot of pictures, videos, apps, games, and it's not going to fill up easily. Really, in this price range, there are devices that come with 64 gigabytes and at best 128, but this one has twice that. And the performance it gave me in games was very good for its price. Again, it's not going to be a device that supports very high graphic qualities with very high stability, but maintaining a graphic quality according to its price, it will give you a considerably fluid game. But let's go with what I didn't like because I'm tired of saying only good things. The screen can feel very cold, that is, very blue. To try to combat this, I have enabled the eye care mode and I think it manages to combat it well enough. It only has one microphone. This is going to result in, if you get to cover it up, it's definitely going to stop listening to whatever you're recording or if you're on a call. Of course, it's not that common that you get to cover that microphone easily, but I think in this price range we can still ask for 2 microphones. Cheaper mobile devices commonly come with only 1 microphone, but at this price point most come with 2. The device comes with too much bloatware. By this I mean added junk applications that serve no purpose. As a user, you can uninstall them, but it can be very annoying for some people. It has neither smart charging nor charging lock. If you are one of those who are very careful with your battery, you should take many precautions manually. Do not leave it charging all night or be one of those who have it plugged into the power all the time because the battery can deteriorate more easily. There are other devices that through software include functions that make this easier for the user to learn more or less their charging cycles and then charge more slowly if they have learned that the user takes a long time to disconnect the cell phone, but this device does not have any of those options. The INFINIX ecosystem still falls very short. That is, we do not have a very wonderful coexistence between several devices of the same brand as we could have in brands like Samsung, Huawei or Apple. For example, here in Mexico, they do not distribute any other accessory to complement your purchase. Fortunately, they have Android, and that makes it easier to have an open ecosystem that connects with more brands, but overall it does not feel strong yet, the INFINIX brand in this aspect. Their storage is eMMC. This may sound a bit technical, but it means it's slow storage. I already explained that they prioritize giving you a large amount of storage, so this storage can cause applications to not open as fast as one would expect when looking at the processor. Since it has a good processor, but it feels a little slow moving at times, probably because the read speed to the storage can become very slow. So it doesn't feel like it's a device that's going to fly unless you already have all the content loaded into the RAM. But as I said at the beginning, I think it is one of the most recommended devices for its price. And if you already bought it, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Tell us absolutely all your experience so that other users who are also considering buying this device can read and thus make their decision. For the moment, we have reached the end of this video. If you liked it, you know you can tell us and we'll see you next time.